What was that one you told me and it was completely wrong? About the...
It was, oh yeah, right, it's years ago.
Oh yeah.
Some
in olden days.
Oh sure.
When ghosts roamed the earth.
Once upon a time, you mean?
Yeah.
Some doctor or something who was into, like, the way bodies work. They got their head cut off.
Who did? The doctor?
Yeah, he was doing a bit of an experiment.
And he cut his own head off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was about, he said, when my head's in the basket, I'm going to blink my eyes.
Right. Okay, sorry, hang on, let him finish.
And,
so the doctor has chopped his own head off, and he's told everyone, I'm going to blink my eyes to prove that
he's in the basket, and he goes like, right, I'm going to blink my eyes about, as many times as I can. So quick, count them. And they count, and he got to, like, 15 before he died.
Now, this is how Karl told me that. Till Nick Frost explained that, Karl told me, he said, right, well, a bloke, right, he had his head cut off, and when his head was in the basket, he went, count how many times I can blink. And I went, well, that's rubbish. He went, no. And Nick went, well, no, he actually said, when my head's in the basket. He went, and Karl went, all right. I said, Karl, do you know the subtle difference? Do you see the subtle difference?
I have to say, though, guys, I still don't really understand what went on there. You've both lost me.
The story is that a bloke who'd been found doing,
You mean that Karl just explained it and that was a clear version? Because I still don't know what you're talking about, Karl.
Well, this bloke had his head cut off at experiments against God. He was a doctor in the, in olden times.
Yeah.
And when they cut his head off...
Why did they cut his head off?
Because it was...
he was executed.
Crimes against... Exactly, he was executed, yeah. And, he said to his assistant, when my head's in the basket, I'm going to blink, count how many times I blink and write it down as an experiment, right? Karl told it to me, like, his head was cut off and he went in the basket, and when his head was in the basket, he looked up and said, count how many times I blink. Yeah. I love that. I love the difference in that story.
Yeah.
Both rubbish,
yeah.
but, one's possible and one isn't.
You believe anything that you're told, except when we tell you the truth.
Right, here's one.
Christ.
Ghosts and that we got talking about.
Sure.
And Nick said, right, he said, you'll like this one. He said, my auntie was having loads of problems.
Why are you whispering? It's not illegal to talk about ghosts on the radio.
No, but
he's hearing this.
So the auntie's in the house and that, and furniture's moving about all the time.
Oh God.
And they were like, no,
Steve, he told me this one. This is such rubbish, mate.
No, come on, let's listen.
I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to sit back and enjoy it. I'm just going to watch your face, Steve.
Right.
Sorry, so I missed the beginning there, Karl. There's an auntie in the
basically,
house.
Nick's auntie.
Right.
In the house, things moving around all the time. And it was just annoying every time she tidied up. It was like...
it was just annoying.
Making a mess.
It was one part annoying to two parts scary.
Yeah.
So... So stuff was moving around all the time, and they said, right,
we need an housekeeper.
Yeah.
Rather than having the house a mess, until we sort this out.
Stop it! I've got the vicar coming round. Stop moving stuff around.
Oh, yeah, go on.
They said
that shouldn't be in the pants drawer.
Let's put all the furniture in one room, right? So just have one room that's a mess, and have all the others empty.
Because I love the poltergeist can't really... it can move wardrobes around, but it can't open the door to put it in another room.
Yeah.
Poltergeist going, I'm just making this room messy. I wish someone would open the door so I could... Go on.
Yeah, but... So all this stuff's in this room.
So they moved all their furniture into one room?
They put, like, the drawers in there and everything, and it was really uncomfortable, because they were all, like, on top of each other.
They sat in the room with all the stuff?
Yeah, they had to, because that's where the three-piece suite was.
Okay.
Oh God!
Right.
All right.
Oh God!
So they sat there, like, all crumpled up and that, but nothing can move because it's so tight. I think things were trying to move.
Yeah,
but everything was so tight. It's
they
just
foxed that poltergeist.
So anyway, one night they sat there, like, sort of a bit awkward watching the telly and that, and you hear some banging.
Yeah.
In the next room. So she goes, "Oh God, what's that?"
Oh, he hadn't moved in, had he, the ghost?
So
to some of the empty rooms.
So there's this
He's moved some friends and family in.
There's this banging about going on.
No,
so she gets up, right?
Yeah.
And what it is, they had the baby in the next room because there wasn't much room for the cot.
Right, so they left the baby with the ghost.
So they go into the room where the baby is, and the banging.
Yeah.
Is like, do you know those plastic balls you get that you can chuck around the room and, like, they go mental?
Right.
The ones that you chuck once and you keep bouncing for ages.
Yeah.
That was bouncing around the room.
Wow, what, the baby had thrown it?
Hitting all the walls, and the baby was there, stood in the cot, sort of laughing.
Right.
And looking at the ball, and wherever it looked, the ball went.
Yeah.
And then she said, stop doing that.
Yeah.
And the ball just stopped.
Did it?
And it rolled a bit and stopped.
Right. So the baby had thrown the ball and it was watching it as it bounced around the room.
It wasn't throwing it, it was in control of it.
No, the point is, Steve, the baby has been doing it. Would have been the baby all along.
The baby had been messing with the furniture. It was
So
the
it's
baby
a
that had
super
the power. Yeah, it's the baby that had the power.
Special baby.
It's a baby that had the power. It's
What
a baby that had the power.
What-
the
what's
power
the power?
of telekinesis.
Right.
They were then trying to convince me that telekinesis was not like all the other stuff that I didn't believe in, but that was a science.
Right.
Telekinesis was possible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like ghosts and demons and all that sort of. Telekinesis is different.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a science.
But Nick's auntie saw it, and
I love the fact that you're telling me that someone else's auntie saw it. So I should be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I should be satisfied with that. I mean,
no,
So does she still live in one room with all her possessions?
no, I think
the baby grew out of it, apparently.
it grew
The
up.
baby grew out of it.
So it doesn't use its telekinesis powers
No.
anymore?
Well, no, it's
No.
like in Carrie, innit? She was upset for a bit, and then she got over it.
Okay, I'm just going to say one thing, Karl. That was a film. Do you want to play... Point nine. Can I just tell you a story that Karl told me a couple of weeks ago?
Is this another ghost story? Another
Yeah,
spooky
it is,
story?
yeah. I called him out. I was, what are you doing? He said, I said, I've just been reading ghost stories again. He went, he said, right, he said, you don't believe in them, but how do you explain this? Right, I went, go on. He said, I'll tell you as he told me it. He went, bloke, right, just sitting at home, doing, watching telly with his cat. And, the phone rings, and it's a bloke going, is that fire, in your oven okay now? 'Cause your wife called. And he went, Karl went, well, one, there was no fire in the oven. Two, he wasn't married. I went, right. Go on. He went, well, then, right, there was a knock at the door and there was two sort of people in sort of white coats and they came and said, we've come about that fire. Your wife called us. He went, one, there isn't a fire in my oven, and two, I'm not even married. Right? And he said, and they saw the cat, and they looked at the cat. It looked a bit weird at the cat came out, nothing. And he said, and then he went back, sat down, phone rings, and they said, did they sort out the fire in the oven that your wife told us about?
Oh.
He went, one, there is no fire in my oven. Two, I haven't got a wife. And Karl went, what do you think of that? I went, that's not it. He went, yeah. I went,
That's the end of the
I went,
story.
What? He went, well, how'd you explain that? I went, explain what? I thought he was going to say, a year later we got married, but she died in an oven fire. Right? I thought it was going to be that. And I went,
That's
what?
people winding him up.
Yeah, or someone did report a fire oven, and their name was Johnson, and they looked up Johnson, they got the wrong thing, it was the gas board, and they sent it round to the wrong person, right? You know, he went, yeah. I said, I explained it to him, he went, yeah. Why did they look at the cat funny?
Oh, man alive, Karl. This is really weird, right? I was in my house once, right, and the doorbell rang.
Yeah.
Right, I opened the door, there was no one there.
Yeah.
Right? And then I looked across the street,
There's some
right,
kids
and there were some
running-
kids running away.
Yeah.
Now, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
There was another time, right, where, like, I opened the door and there was a bloke goes, you've ordered pizza. I went, I haven't ordered pizza. And I heard my mate upstairs giggling and putting the phone down.
Yeah. How do you explain that? Karl, seriously, why did you tell me that story? What did you think it was weird about that?
The fact that it was three different people.
Is this all the information? Is that the entire story?
It was three different people.
Did you fall
hassling
asleep
him
and not read
about
the end?
A fire that didn't happen, about a wife that didn't exist, and a cat that didn't look happy.
Oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack, Karl. What? I mean, why did they look at the cat funny?
Because cats don't like spirits, do they?
What? The other blokes were ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So these are kind of beetle about type ghosts. These are ghosts who walk the earth as the undead, just winding people up slightly.
That's lovely. That is lovely.
seriously,
and a cat
Karl-
that did not look happy. Do you believe in, I think,
Werewolves.
lycanthropy? Is it not called?
What's that, sorry?
Lycanthropy.
What's lycanthropy?
Isn't that werewolfism?
Really?
Isn't it? Do you believe in that, Karl?
They've found stuff, haven't they? They've found kids walking about who are all airy because they've sort of grew up with wolves and that.
Yeah.
So
No. You see, two things there. You cannot take on acquired characteristics genetically. So if you grew up with wolves, it wouldn't suddenly make you hairy.
There's been pictures, there's been stories on it, and I reckon most people have, or a lot of people have seen the stories. It's a popular thing.
You mean the kids that are born hairy?
No, there's kids who've been born hairy, right?
Yeah, that's it.
No, but listen, and they walk around on all fours, and they drink milk from a saucer.
Steve, this is
remember that time with the maggot in the head?
Yeah.
Getting out with bacon, and you were like laughing, and then people called up and said, yeah, I've seen that, I've read about that.
Yeah,
this is the same thing.
Have you seen an XFM listener up close? Have you ever looked?
They drink milk from a saucer.
Yeah, they've got to be kept on leads. People who listen to this show.
There's no point me telling you about stuff.
There is. It's comedy gold.
When you were at school, did you keep arguing with the teacher saying you're talking rubbish there?
Teachers didn't teach us about werewolf boys and ghosts. They taught us maths. God, right, tell the story about the manhole cover.
Right, in the same magazine as the one with the cat and the fire and that.
Don't tell me that story again, it gives me the shivers.
Yeah, a cat that's got a weird expression on its face is against God.
Anyway, this isn't a scary story, this was just like physics.
Yeah.
It was going on about the nuclear bomb and how powerful it is. And they put a manhole cover on top of one.
Okay.
Blew it up.
Yeah.
Never saw the manhole cover again.
Man alive, Karl. Unexplained.
What's going on there? Something weird is happening there.
If anyone has ever seen that manhole cover, please get in touch. We'd love to know where it is.
Oh, that's fantastic. What sort of experiment is that? I imagine all these scientists on multi-billion-pound research budgets, they're going, we test everything. What would they do to a manhole cover? Don't know.
That's like letting a couple of students
yeah, exactly,
have control of a nuclear
Do you reckon it can send a traffic cone into orbit? Go on then, put it on there. I love that. Imagine that. What?
Now, this will scare you. Now, Karl, you will be a little bit unnerved about this. Have you seen the film Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
You know what happened there? Well, according to the Sun here, it says scientists are planning to clone mammoths for a theme park. Look at his face. Look at that. He looks like a dog caught in the headlights of a car. He's terrified.
I love Karl.
He sprung to attention
Karl.
there.
Is that the best news you could have?
Man moths.
Right.
Yeah, man moths.
I
man
love
moths.
the fact that that's why he was so excited that they bred a man moth. What is this? Yeah, it's a human being that hides in your wardrobe and eats an entire jacket in a day.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man moths? Mammoths. Mammoth, the big hairy cow
heard of
from the
mammoth?
Ice Age. I mean, elephant.
You're not so excited about that, then? You can take or leave bringing back mammoths to life, but a man moth...
A man moth is a different matter. Oh, if we'd have never brought that up, he'd have gone and told someone now.
Yeah.
You know, they've bred an half man, half moth.
This is what we
This is how
mean.
things start.
This is what we mean when you hear these ghost
Are you
stories.
slightly deaf? Is that it? When you hear these stories, you're slightly deaf. And his head was in the basket, and he went, count how many times I blink. Is it?
Karl, is English your first language? Are you actually foreign? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Should we speak
when we say
slower?
foreign, we mean not of this planet.
Yeah. Should we speak slower? Would that be a help to you?
No, go on. Next
What do you
one.
make of
Do
that?
you think that's good?
The
Do you think
idea
that's
of
good to bring back mammoths?
prehistoric animals.
These giant elephants.
They're slow, aren't they? It's not as if they're going to like get out and run fast and they can't capture them.
They'd probably be a
like
fence, to be honest, Karl. They'd probably be a fence.
No, but
Big
but you're asking it as if like, oh, it could all go wrong, but it couldn't, could it?
Well,
really?
but the point was about Jurassic Park is they thought it wouldn't go wrong. They thought they had it all under control.
that was
and
Have you learned
dinosaurs.
nothing from Jurassic Park, Karl?
Dinosaurs would say, oh, think about it before you do it. But with a hairy elephant, it's not going to...
Not a concern for you. Would you go along to see him? Would you be interested in that?
If it was in the area.
He's great, isn't he? I'd love a queue,
Nothing
right?
impresses
No,
him.
but what I'd like to do is Karl sitting like Yoda in a little cave, and I'd just like to see people like Tony Blair and Stephen Hawkins in a queue, and they go and say, "Karl, got a bit of a problem."
And thinking of cloning a man and a moth. Problem? Not an issue. No, if I'm in the area, I might cruise around and have a look at it. Otherwise, just don't send it near my clothes.
Oh, that's fantastic.